Hello guys, my name is Tanya and welcome to my channel. First of all, if you're overthinking, there is nothing wrong with you. In fact, it actually means that you're thoughtful, that you care, that you're conscientious. It means that you care about the person or situation, or you care about your future. It's totally normal. But by thinking and thinking again 100,000 times, one cannot find the solution. Rumination itself doesn't solve the problem. You have to shift the belief. If I think about this enough, then I will solve this problem. In fact, when you're overthinking, it blocks your problem solving because you create this loop in your mind and you're trapped in this loop. And the more you are in this loop, mental picture in your mind, it has nothing in common with the reality. To actually get out of this loop, you have to stop generalizing. Ruminative thoughts, overthinking, they are generally use the words like never, always, I always screw up. I will never be able to lose weight. I will never be able to be rich. And in life, there is no always and no never, because in life, the only constant is change. So, for example, if a person thinks, I'm a loser, there is hidden always here, like I'm always a loser. Because he doesn't say, I was a loser in this particular situation. I was a loser once. He says, I'm a loser always. When you say I am, you take this identity. So watch your words, watch your language. If you was a loser once, just say, I was a loser in that situation. It's okay. Everyone fails in this life. It's okay to fail once. Do not generalize, because the moment you start generalizing, it's very easy to get in this loop and it's very hard to get out. So for that person, he thinks, I'm a loser. He should start every day, like write down his 3 wins. I get up out of bed 8 a.m. in the morning. I went to a gym today. I had my salad today. I went to work today. He has to notice the stuff when he wins. You may think, no, but I didn't do throughout the whole day. I hadn't had even one win. That's false. That's your mind is trained. That's how you trained your mind. You have to retrain your mind now to notice your wins. And also, to some extent, rumination is a habit. And it can actually be picked up from your friend or from your family member. So when you notice some people around you who ruminate, who often use words like always, never, often, and stuff like that, you have to be very careful and you have to extract yourself from that people if that's possible for you, because it's like rumination is like a disease, and you can pick up from some people. So be careful with your surroundings. Get inspiration from characters. My favorite character is Khaleesi from A Game of Thrones. There was this one episode when she was pregnant and her man was sick, and overnight, in one night, a woman, she lost her man and she lost a child. She was like this queen with a king and she was pregnant. It should have been good for her. But overnight, she basically lost everything. And because her king, he was dead, the tribe that she was ruling, they went away. So she was left basically alone. Some people were left with her, of course, but basically she was alone. And, she trusted the wrong person. And that's why she lost her man and she lost her child. And it's a big loss. Imagine this would happen to a woman in a real life, because in movie it's exaggerated. But in real life, a woman can never recover from such a trauma. She would be traumatized for life. In a movie, she wasn't sitting and thinking, oh my God, why did I trust it? What did I do? What will others think about me? She wasn't sitting and ruminating and overthinking about it over and over again. She started acting straight away. She focused on her next thing. She focused on the future, because also she couldn't afford herself to sit and overthink about it again. Maybe what she did next wasn't right, but she was acting. She was active hero in her life. You can choose your favorite character from your favorite movie or series, and imagine, if you're overthinking in life about something, imagine, okay, what would that character do? How would he behave? Maybe he would go for a run. Maybe he would call a friend. Maybe he would go see a therapist. Maybe he would sit and write it down. Maybe he would just act, take the courage and act. Sometimes we overthink about the right or wrong decision. Maybe your character, he would just act straight away. Also, always know this. In every situation in your life, you're doing your best with the resources you have, with the knowledge you have, with the obstacles you have. In every situation, you did your best. So stop judging yourself. You're given so much compassion to a surrounding world, but you're not compassionate towards yourself. You give so much love and so much support to the surrounding world, but you're not supporting and loving yourself. When I was in university, I was constantly overthinking about the career I should choose. Should I follow I was studying applied math, so should I follow this applied math and programming path, or should I follow, I was very creative and I wanted to dance. I wanted to have some creative career. So I was constantly scrutinizing myself and judging myself. And it was definitely not self-love toward myself. And I remember how much I was analyzing the situation, like what would happen if I do this, what would happen if I do that. And you know what? Many years has passed since that moment, but I still don't know what was the right decision, and it's okay. And I didn't have to exactly choose. I could work at the office and have this art as like side hobby. In fact, if I would have done like this, it would be better, because when you try to monetize, when you try to sell your art, at some point it can stop being an art. But if you have stable income and you're creating your art, it's easier for you because it's pure, your pure art, your pure soul. And some decisions, they don't have the solution. You can just live your life. Create yourself some pattern interruption routine. So first of all, you have to notice this thought. If you notice that, okay, I'm overthinking again, I'm trying to choose something and I'm overthinking what I said to that person, blah, blah, blah. First of all, you notice that and you have this contract for yourself. Okay, every time I'm overthinking, I will go and do 10 sit-ups, or I will go for a run, or I will go and make myself a cup of tea, or I will take 3 deep breaths. Do you know that 3 deep breaths, that simple, they actually reset your nervous system. This pattern breaker, its task is basically to redirect your attention from this overthinking rumination, which doesn't solve the problem, towards some real thing, some physical activity, some puzzle, some even like video game, or like, for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. If you want to clean your environment to be cleaner, maybe cleaning your room, maybe throwing away some garbage from your room. And with this example of mine, when I was choosing the career in university, if someone would tell me that some tasks, they will remain open throughout my whole life, and it's okay, and I don't have to choose it straight away, my life would be so much simpler. I would redeem so much energy, because you cannot even imagine how much energy I was spending for that overthinking, for that like analysis paralysis. I would redeem so much energy that I think I could pursue like 2 careers at the same time. But because I was overthinking, it was like I had a few hours of activity dedicated to that overthinking. Honestly, it's ridiculous. But at that time, I thought that I cannot have like open task. I had to decide this straight away. And it was my problem. If you're ruminating about yourself, try exploring your identity outside of your mind. Go and try new things. Don't overthink like, should I have to do this? Should I have to do that? Go in the real world. Talk to real people and assess the knowledge from the real world, not from inside of your mind. Inside of your mind, you can create anything. You can create whole worlds. But assess your identity from activities like go to a theater, go to some master class, go to some yoga, start new sport, start new things, go to a book club. Don't sit in your room and ruminate it over and over again. It's like standalone activity. Overthinking is a full-time job. Establish this mindset for yourself that you cannot afford overthinking. Take care of your physical appearance. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your environment. Take care of your career. Maybe you should take a new course for your career. Maybe you should start a new hobby. Take care of your hobbies because people should have hobbies. Maybe you should start learning guitar lessons. Also, when you're learning guitar lessons or piano lessons, your mind is so concentrated with the movement of your fingers, with the coordination. You cannot overthink at that moment because your mind is busy. Maybe you just have so much free time that you're doing this overthinking. Every domain of your life, it requires time from you. So if you start actually taking care about yourself, actually taking care about each of this domain, you will just simply not have time for this rumination process. There are some situations in life when we do not have control over them. So if you're overthinking about something that's not even in your control, just realize, okay, it's not in my control. What is in my control? In your control, only your actions. So you cannot control what other people think about you. You cannot control how other people act. You can only control yourself. Your power is in your response, not your reaction, but your response. Something happens to us, and we have this first reaction. If you meditate, then you develop this ability of having this few seconds of time between your reaction and your response. So if a person does not meditate and he's not self-aware, something happens to him, he reacts. But if you meditate regularly, then something happens to you. You have the first reaction, and then you have 2-3 seconds till you respond. Another my favorite practice is intuitive journaling. Basically, it's like journaling. You have to have a free paper, it's blank, and you have to write your words without punctuation, without grammar, some letters, maybe some pictures, and you can write in whatever order, in whatever direction, and some words will be big and some words will be small. I'm telling you, the first time I tried this, I noticed a pattern straight away. Because when we overthink, we use in our analytical mind. But when we shift our thinking towards this more like intuitive, creative thinking, some details may come up to the surface you haven't even noticed before, and this little detail, it will change the whole picture, how you see the situation. And also just the simplicity of it. When you write it down on paper, there are so much more clarity about your thoughts. And it's also scientifically proven that to break this pattern of overthinking, like from psychological studies, you have to bring awareness to this, that you have to notice unhealthy pattern, and then you have to replace it with healthy, constructive pattern. So writing it down on paper, it's so simple, it's so obvious, but I just remember when I was overthinking and I had this like tendency to overthink. It was almost like a disease of my mind, I was also journaling at that time, but I was very analytical and I was dividing this like what are the pros and cons. But when I tried this intuitive writing, when I can write in whatever direction, whatever order, whatever words come to my mind, without necessarily even thinking about the situation, just about my life, then I see it so much more clearly. I love clarity because clarity, it's like confidence, and it gives you such a peace of mind that the life is so enjoyable. The life is amazing and magnificent. I hope this video was helpful for you. I send you love and light from my heart, and have a beautiful day.